I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mr. Rush. Councilman Scranton.
Present.
Councilman Livingston. Present. Councilwoman Franz.
Present.
Councilman Taylor.
Present.
Councilman Papstrat. Present. Councilman Matzo.
Present.
And President Scanlon. Present. That's all seven here. Okay, let's move on to the approval of minutes, and Councilman Scranton, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand and ask for unanimous approval of the minutes from the February 20th, 2019 business meeting and the February 27th, 2019 special business meeting.
Second.
Voice vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Let's move on to the public hearing. Introductory ordinance, this is public hearing for introductory ordinance 19-30, amendment to permanent ordinance 18-34, bond ordinance for the Holly Street parking garage. And also introductory ordinance 19-31, amendment to permanent ordinance 18-28, bond ordinance for the State Street Improvement Project. If you're wishing to speak on that, can come down right now, please.
And we'll do Holly first.
See no one for Holly Street. Anybody wish to come down and speak on State Street? Seeing none, we'll move on. Mr. Rogers, can you set the public hearing, please, for the next one?
We're setting a public hearing. The Binghamton City Council and the Mayor of the City of Binghamton will hold a public hearing regarding refunding the 2012 bond ordinance on March 20th, 2019 at the regularly scheduled business meeting at 6:30 p.m. held here in the City Council chambers.
Thank you. Let's move on to the public comment. Anybody wishing to speak, come down. We have 5 minutes. And please be respectful. State your name and your address and come forward, please.
You must have been bored about me. Good evening, City Council. Sharon Aminsky, East Side, Binghamton, New York. I'm at 17 Granby Avenue, sorry. I first want to make sure that I mentioned to you that I really thoroughly feel that the Mayor Rich David's address was one of the most interesting ones I've ever been to. I definitely applaud Mayor Rich David and his whole team, including you people too, for all you've done for us. When I mentioned to people in the east side that the pump station was going to be put up, they were thrilled, to take care of all that water. And I imagine they would take care of the water all the way down to Michelangelo's too, I take it, President Scanlon. And it was really a thrill to be there to hear all the different little things. Some things I put on our nextdoor.com website. The other thing I want to mention is, President Scanlon, thank you again for, you weren't here that one time, thank you again for helping out at our food bank. The food bank is going excellent on the east side. There are many people that are in dire need of food, and I'm sure that they missed it because the last one was canceled, which is rare due to the snow that we had. The next one is going to be the 12th of March, noon to 1. Volunteers, if they want to attend this, will meet me at 11 o'clock a.m. in the parking lot at 177 Robinson Street. And bring your bags in a cart, and please sign in. We are going automatic now. None of this data it's all locked up in Elmira at the food bank, but it will be like a little PIN card, just like CVS. They will put their name in and the address, and boom, just zip it through, and they're on their way to get food. Another thing I want to mention is my volunteers are all great too. They're all excellent. One thing I wanted to mention is I thanked a girl for the bus shelter cleanup. A girl needed hours for school at high school, and she was a gal from Johnson City. Did a phenomenal job cleaning up graffiti and terrible things that were all over on the bus shelters that the county owns. They're on city property. They don't have the resources to clean. The county doesn't, so this girl cleaned, her aunt took her around. They cleaned up about all 6 of them, especially outside Main Street in Binghamton. So she did an excellent job because I checked it out. The other thing is I'm dealing with the federal government. I'm really proud to announce that I have offenders. I won't get into what they did, but they are all real nice. They are very nice to me. I'm checking up on their hours, and some of them have 96 hours to accomplish. I deal with the officer in the federal government that's in the head of these men, and there are women. We'll probably see some women too. But right now, because it's so cold, and because of the car situation, one man didn't have a car. I had him do something handicap at the animal shelter. He's doing hours there. Once it gets a little bit better outside, I'm going to have him do cleanups and things like that. I'll provide the bags, gloves, or whatever. And speaking of cleanups, oh, by the way, Councilmember Livingston, thank you for joining us. Welcome. I wanted to mention that if you're interested in doing cleanups when it gets better weather, there's the people to see. Conrad Taylor, Giovanni, anybody here, everybody here participating in cleanups. And they'll also give you a little liability sheet and have the people sign. And Councilmember Scrooge's got a really nice one, a little bit shorter one than we used to have. And then we turn it to legal counsel, afterwards. But I also mentioned to Councilmember Taylor that the best way to do a cleanup is not to do it with a whole bunch of people, and then boom, 2 weeks later it's all dirty again. Find somebody that's a real avid person, outgoing, good health, likes to talk to people like me, get them to get a bag and do their street. Be promoting people on their street, because that way it won't be dirty for 2 weeks later. Once you start prompting people like I did on Pine Street, my little friend there, I didn't ask for permission, I call her Tina Turner. She's a lovely girl, she lives on, and she's doing the thing up on Pine, she's phenomenal. So, and that's continuing, that was done years ago when I told you when you first came aboard. So, that is great. And,
Excuse me, 1 minute left.
oh, thank you. And that is about it. I've been busy. I'm sorry that I haven't been attending lately. I actually should be in Florida right now, but my niece caused me some pain, so I had doctor's permission to get all my money back, and I have to stay here until I have surgery. So that is why I'm here. But thank you so much for all you've done for us last year, and I'm so glad that everybody's here, and I'm so glad we have a president, Tom Scaling, to help us and keep us all going in the right line. Thank you. Do we still say our names here too?
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking. Anyone else wishing to come down and speak? You have 5 minutes. Please write your name, state your name, and where you live, please.
Get better soon, Sharon.
I had to let our newcomers in on the process. When Sharon's here, she goes first, and if John's here, he goes next. I'm Tarek Abdelazam, 17 Tremont in Binghamton. So I came down and spoke to you before about Boscov's and a lot of confusion regarding ownership. And I saw that, Chris and Danny are the two representatives from the council, although it looks like all 6 of the mayor's representatives and yours expired December 2018. I'm assuming you're still serving?
Yes.
Okay, so I hope that you can come back in 2 weeks with some answers, because I'll be down here again. So the mayor again represents that Broome County IDA owns the property. As with all other pilot agreements, it's basically a purchase and lease back, right? The IDA just basically holds nominal title in order to provide a pilot. So if you look at Broome County IMO Real Estate, you'll see that Broome County IDA doesn't own Twin River Commons, doesn't own 20 Holly Street, doesn't own Midtown Mall. It's those private property owners that are still on the deed and listed in Broome County. The odd thing is that Boscov's, it does indicate that the name is Broome County Industrial Development Agency, but the address is Boscov's Department Store in Reading, Pennsylvania, which is odd, very odd. Moreover, when you go to the agency's public authority reporting, they have very strict reporting requirements. This is all on their website. They have to prepare a report at least annually of all the real property under the authority. Here's the listing of all the property that they own. Again, 11 and 13 Court Street, Boscov's is not owned by the authority, the agency. I'm going to provide those two just so you can see them. Now, to make matters even more confusing, they have to also report every pilot that they have currently. So, again, on their website, you can go, and there are 37 pilots projects listed in their most recent reporting. Guess what? 13 Court Street, Boscov's, is not listed as a pilot. What's going on here? It's like this building is in this no man's land of ownership. Now, as I shared before, the original owners, and this was some weird deal that Bucci did, that it was an LLC from Reading, Pennsylvania, and the BLDC, and they formed what was called Bing Realty. That Pennsylvania firm went bankrupt. So when I served on the BLDC, we were told that, let's say Boscov's were to leave, the property would then revert back to the owner. The owner would be the Binghamton Local Development Corporation. Okay? Binghamton Local Development Corporation apparently then has a lease with Boscov's. They are the tenant. So that's an agreement. But how are we still extending a pilot when the IDA doesn't even show that a pilot exists with this property? There's got to be some other agreement between BLDC and the IDA that made this deal. That's why in 2013, when a 5-year extension came up, I was the only member on BLDC not to support it, because I could not get questions answered by Ken Frank, who's the attorney for BLDC in the city. It's not that I didn't necessarily disagree with it. Right? This is a key downtown entity, but when you can't get those simple questions answered, I did not feel comfortable supporting it. But yet here we are. Last year we did an extension. We're doing another extension. Under what authority